You're in a meeting. Someone's chewing their pen cap. Another colleague has a chaotic desk. A third is talking to themselves. Most call these habits strange or unprofessional. But here's what neuroscience discovered. These exact behaviors might be markers of exceptional intelligence. I'm revealing 8 weird habits supported by scientific research that correlate with higher cognitive ability. You might recognize yourself in several of these. Let's dive in. Habit number 1, talking to yourself out loud. If you've caught yourself having conversations with no one else in the room, you are in excellent company, friend. Research from the University of Wisconsin-Madison found that people who talk to themselves perform better on cognitive tasks and have enhanced focus. Psychologist Gary Lupien discovered that self-directed speech activates multiple brain areas simultaneously. When you verbalize thoughts, you create a feedback loop. You hear your own voice, which reinforces information and helps process complex problems more efficiently. Your brain is a computer, and talking to yourself is like running a debug program. You're externalizing internal processes to catch errors and optimize solutions. Albert Einstein famously talked to himself regularly. A study in the Quarterly Journal of Experimental Psychology showed that people who talk to themselves while searching for objects find them 20% faster. Self-talk isn't a sign of madness. It's a cognitive tool that intelligent minds instinctively use. Habit number 2, staying up late. Night owls have been fighting stereotypes for decades, but science is finally vindicating them. A study in the journal Intelligence by Satoshi Kanazawa found a direct correlation between childhood intelligence and adult tendency toward being a night person. The evolutionary psychology is fascinating. Our ancestors operated on strict daylight schedules by necessity. The ability to override this evolutionary programming suggests cognitive flexibility and capacity for abstract thinking. Research from the London School of Economics tracked over 20,000 adolescents and found those with higher IQ scores were significantly more likely to become night owls. But it's not just about when you sleep, it's about operating outside conventional patterns. The quiet hours of night provide uninterrupted deep work. No emails, no calls, no distractions. Your prefrontal cortex can operate at full capacity. Marcel Proust, Franz Kafka, and Barack Obama credited their late-night hours with their most productive thinking. Habit number 3, messy workspaces. If your desk is covered in papers, coffee cups, and random objects, congratulations! You might be smarter than your tidy colleagues. A landmark study from the University of Minnesota by Kathleen Vose found that working in a messy environment promotes creative thinking. Participants in disordered rooms generated significantly more creative and innovative solutions than those in organized spaces. The reasoning for this one is counterintuitive. A messy environment signals to your brain that convention can be broken. It creates a mental state where you're willing to explore novel connections. Order is about following rules. Disorder is about creating new ones. Einstein's desk was famously chaotic. He once remarked, "If a cluttered desk is a sign of a cluttered mind, of what then is an empty desk a sign?" Mark Twain, Steve Jobs, and Mark Zuckerberg all worked in notably messy spaces. Habit number 4, daydreaming and mind wandering. Remember when teachers told you to stop daydreaming? They were interrupting a sophisticated cognitive process. Neuroscientists at the University of California discovered that people who daydream more frequently score higher on tests of intellectual and creative ability. When your mind wanders, your brain activates the default mode network, responsible for imagination, future planning, and complex thought integration. MRI studies show mind wandering activates the same brain regions used in high-level problem solving. Daydreaming allows your brain to make connections between seemingly unrelated information. Your subconscious works on problems your conscious mind has set aside. Isaac Newton discovered gravity laws while daydreaming under an apple tree. Archimedes had his eureka moment while letting his mind wander in a bath. Intelligent minds don't daydream randomly. They're unconsciously processing, connecting, and synthesizing information in the background. Habit number 5, constantly questioning everything. If you're the person who always asks why, or but what if, you might drive people crazy, but you're demonstrating a hallmark of high intelligence. Research from Yale University found that intellectual curiosity and questioning assumptions correlate strongly with fluid intelligence. Questioning requires holding multiple perspectives simultaneously. You must understand the conventional answer while imagining alternatives. This cognitive flexibility is core to intelligence. Children ask an average of 300 questions per day. Most adults ask far fewer. Intelligent ones never stop. They maintain epistemic curiosity, an intrinsic desire to close information gaps. Richard Feynman questioned everything from quantum mechanics to why grass is green. Smart people understand every answer is provisional, every explanation incomplete. They're not questioning to be difficult. They recognize the complexity of reality. Habit number 6, forgetting minor details. If you constantly forget where you put your keys or can't remember breakfast, you're in good company. A University of Toronto study found that forgetfulness can indicate higher intelligence. Your brain has limited storage capacity. Intelligent minds constantly evaluate what information is worth keeping and what should be discarded. Forgetting minor details isn't a flaw, it's an optimization. Your brain works like a manager, deciding what gets attention and energy. Neuroscientist Blake Richards explains, the goal of memory isn't to remember everything. It's to remember what matters for making good decisions. If your brain spends energy on unimportant details, it has less capacity for complex analysis and creative thinking. This explains why highly intelligent people often appear absent-minded. They're not truly absent, they're deeply focused on important problems, while their brain filters out everyday noise. Habit number 7, swearing. Yep, you heard that right. Research from Marist College found that people with larger vocabularies, including swear words, tend to have higher verbal intelligence. A separate study in language sciences confirmed that fluent swearing correlates with better overall language ability. The reasoning challenges everything we've been taught. Swearing requires linguistic sophistication. You have to understand context, social norms, emotional weight, and timing. It's not a sign of a limited vocabulary. It reflects verbal fluency. Intelligent people swear strategically. They use it for emphasis, emotional expression, and social bonding. It's a linguistic tool, not a weakness. Habit number 8, preferring to be alone. If you prefer a quiet night at home over a crowded party, there's a psychological reason why. Research in the British Journal of Psychology found that highly intelligent people get less satisfaction from socializing than those with average intelligence. The evolutionary explanation: less intelligent individuals benefited more from cooperative relationships for survival. Highly intelligent individuals could solve problems independently and felt less need for constant social interaction. This doesn't mean intelligent people are antisocial. They're selective. They value deep, meaningful connections over superficial interactions. They need time alone to process information, think deeply, and recharge. Bill Gates takes Think Weeks, where he isolates himself to read and reflect. Isaac Newton produced his most groundbreaking work during isolated periods. Being alone isn't loneliness. It's an intentional choice that creates space for intellectual depth. So there you have it. 8 weird habits that might make you seem strange, but actually reveal sophisticated cognitive processes at work. If you recognized yourself in several of these, it's not a coincidence. Intelligence doesn't always look the way we expect it. It doesn't come in a neat, organized package. It talks to itself, stays up late, makes a mess, and asks uncomfortable questions. Here's my challenge to you. Embrace one weird habit this week. Talk to yourself while solving a problem. Let your desk get a little messy. Stay up late and see what ideas emerge. Then come back and tell me in the comments what you discovered about your own thinking process. And if this video made you see yourself or someone you know in a new light, hit that like button and subscribe for more psychology insights that challenge conventional thinking. Because understanding how intelligence actually works might be the smartest thing you do today.